And we are getting ready to hop into this next matchup. This is the matchup where Huck could ultimately seal the deal, $1,000 richer, winning himself the chance to face off against EG Idra for the MSI Notebook, the GT660. A lot on the line right here, and this Protoss could end it right here.
And the one thing I love about these two players, both of them just lauding each other's play right before the game. Huck saying, wow, Slush, you are going to do way, way better at Dallas than people think you are, saying that you were playing me better, or you were playing better than I was, and it looks like Huck is now talking about a pillow in some regard. Either way, Slush is spawning at the north position as the blue Zerg. In the left, we have Huck as the red Protoss, and I think Huck is going to be quite confident about these positions.
He's gonna love this. I mean, talk about smile on one's face, and pillow or not, these positions are gonna work out quite well. It may be Slush who's gonna need the pillow if another Huck beating comes down the pipeline. Now, talk about Slush, because Slush did pick up that first game. Huck comes back and gets 2 more, and now is sitting on game point. But Slush has not been any slouch throughout this tournament.
Absolutely not. I mean, the one real issue, I think the one weakness would be game 2. There was not really the most coherent plan with how do I deal with these super close positions. Roaches with burrow and absolutely no burrow movement. You know, it was a little weird. But I mean, really, in that last game, we saw Slush pick a map that honestly is not so nice for Zerg and make it look very close. I mean, that gold, as Slush said before the game, was about to kick in. But of course, Huck with a very, very strong timing and a 10 pool going down by Slush. You know, Slush's weakness 2 to 3 weeks ago used to be that he would overcommit to all-ins. He would be playing fine and then kind of go, time to make roaches and lings, and he would have to win with one gigantic attack. But we've seen that he has extended his play and that he can attack multiple times and still be able to stick through. And it looks like he's relying back to the build we saw him win in game 1 with.
Yeah, and you know, you can go on the different forums out there and hear all the advantages, disadvantages to the 10 pool. But in this particular case, especially against Huck, who has been known to show a very good early aggression, I don't think that this opener is bad for Slush at all. I think where it really becomes an issue is, can you economically make sure that you are balancing out the drones and the units so that you can stop that kind of stuff. And Slush has shown that that's something that he can indeed do. So Roach Warren does go down now, and we're going to have the queen pop out here in just a moment, and we'll see what happens. What do we got going on Huck's side?
Now, in Huckville, it looks like he's going for a relatively fast cybernetics core, doing the usual fast second gas, but look at that chrono boost, just now hit 100, and he is immediately chrono boosting a Stalker, immediately throwing it down. Now, the one thing is that Huck has gotten the chance to play against this in game 1. Huck did not do a very fast cybernetics core as he is doing in this game, but we have not seen what Slush's follow-up is, and I'm almost certain Slush has a very, very clever way to continue with this ultra-fast Roach Warren strat.
And what do you think that will be?
I think he's going to just do a lot of damage with this first push, and then take a much delayed expansion. As we see, he's getting a lot of roaches, leaving one guy in gas. We can, in fact, get that Zergling speed, and look at Huck now getting a very fast forge, getting a sentry, even pushing forward with one Stalker so we can do a little bit of damage. But wow, do those roaches come fast.
Yeah, they really do, and here they come. They are going to meet up, but Huck will be able to do some decent back and forth damage here with these two, or with these roaches right here. He'll make his way back to the base, and there is a sentry out as well, so he can do some damage there. Huck, though, just kind of dancing with this Stalker. Also finds an Overlord as well. And here come the roaches up the ramp.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. I don't know if that was the best decision, but the cannon is just now finished. Huck needs to throw down another force field if he doesn't want to get blocked in. And it looks like that sentry is about to die. Oh, it does manage to get picked off, but Slush is continuing to be quite aggressive. Meanwhile, in production, we have a lot of Zerglings coming up. Does he have Zergling speed? Not quite yet. And wow, Slush really knows the power of this style of play. Huck almost picking off that Overlord, but pulling back at the last second, and there's the Warp Gate finishing right now. I think Huck is surprised to see himself being broken at the front.
Yeah, and though there are some more units coming. There's some lings outside the base. One of those roaches incredibly low. Huck will go ahead and snipe that unit away. One roach left with about 66 points of health. It will go down. Huck gets another sentry out. He blocks the force field. Cannon does a good job cleaning up some of those lings coming in. And I gotta say, in terms of that in particular initial push by the Zerg, that was a beautiful, beautiful setup by Huck.
Definitely. Huck did an excellent job of defending. But look at this, immediately getting the Robo. He is getting an Observer very fast. He wants to see exactly what's up. And I think we might see the long-fabled Immortal Warp Gate push, something the players did right at the outset of beta, but that has kind of gone out of fashion because he's going to see that link speed is not out, the pool does not glisten, so no speed is being researched. And he could do well with a very fast push.
Oh, and there goes speed right now as it just gets dropped down by Slush. +1 weapons again coming out for Huck. Likes to time his push directly with that. Zerg looks like they are going to move forward. A few lings coming here to the ramp. Of course, he knows about that cannon and knows there's not a whole lot that he could do. It would be an incredible waste of units to try to get through there, if he even could. So at this point in time, some roaches back here too in Slush's expansion, as he did put down a hatchery and is about ready to pop. Just getting ready. Now, you had mentioned about going and doing the initial damage and then putting down your hatch.
Yeah.
Obviously, there wasn't really much initial damage done. Maybe he delayed a large amount of units coming from Huck, but did he do as much as you kind of expect to?
I really do not think that Slush did as much damage as I would have hoped. I mean, the one thing, though, is people should never forget about the idea of limiting strategies. Obvious example, you steal your opponent's gas, no chance that there's going to be a ton of Banshees rushing down your throat. If you do a huge push like Slush just did, no chance of any cutesy fast expansion coming down from Protoss. You only need to worry about these big one basing pushes, as we see an Immortal Zealot push with +1 coming up very shortly. There, the +1 is about ready to finish. Huck's going to expand, but we can see Banelings being morphed by Slush, and look at how few units he has in his main. This is exactly how Slush beat Kiwikaki in their first game on Steps of War.
Yeah, and you know, he's probably just going to march right up there. A couple of roaches are going to come out, and they will retreat back. Might clue Huck into something that's going on here. They're going to come in from all sides and attack. Great surround on that Immortal. Got stuck by his own, but Huck moves up the ramp and does manage to get some great force fields off. He does somehow, this other Immortal is staying alive, but he's got to stay up against those force fields. He gets surrounded, and Immortal number 2 will go down. Another force field at the ramp, and the Banelings can't do anything against these units that are now in Huck's main, or in Slush's main.
Slush is in a very odd position. He has a lot of units, a decent number of drones, but he is locked out of his own base there. The force fields finally expire, more units popping out. Drones finally returning to mine, but he's trying to get all of those Banelings in position. Can he get the force fields out? No! Loses all the sentries, and weirdly enough, I have no idea who is at an advantage or not. I think that both players are a little surprised at that exchange. Huck building cannons on his low ground, and he does not exactly have the production capacity that you want. You want a lot of gateways right now to replenish those units, but he doesn't have too many, and here comes a small little counterplay by Slush.
Yeah, I think it's going to matter. Well, he does have an awful a lot of lings here, I mean, for this particular moment of the game, but these 3 roaches too. Cannons are going to pop just at the perfect moment for these guys, and an Immortal there to assist with those roaches, but don't get surrounded, Immortal. Don't get surrounded by those lings. Yes, right into the cannons. A great job. The Zerg army is going to push forward, but the cannon will help repel them back. Huck, I think, be really wise to just wait and, like you said, supplement those gateways and get ready.
Slush with the accidental misclick, inadvertently sending those units to their doom. And now Huck getting a little bit of a breather. He has an expansion up. Looking at Slush's base, Slush is now building some drones of his own, but Huck sees it and immediately is going to mount a counter push.
And here he goes, going across the 3rd base area up to the front. No spine crawler here for Slush. You know, he usually has that spine crawler over there, help with some of the defense. Huck is just going to push forward, give Slush